Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Adriane Hartigan-von Strauch, Adriana from Bali, your quantum love coach. Today is Bali's full moon celebration. Tomorrow will be full moon in our planetary constellations. It is a full moon in Gemini, and it is meant to be a very magic and a very potent constellation. This full moon this month, based on the fact that Mars is going retrograde in the same sign like the moon in Gemini. And also we have tomorrow facing a square between Venus and Jupiter. So Mars and Venus are in full action, and being a Mars-Venus coach, I'm having really fun with this, and I begin to see my love for speaking about astrology and astrological signs and codes and numbers. And I believe beginning next year I will have an extra monthly or regular kind of a feature here on my channel to speak more about Venus star codes and the opportunity actually to learn much more about yourself and your actual true purpose to why you have come here on this planet through discovering your Venus star code. And there was a big happening only a few weeks ago that the star code actually moved from one sign to the other. But I don't want to comment on that because I leave that to the astrologers who are good in that. But I just got our first Moonology card out for this wonderful event, full moon in Gemini. So this is the card that probably affects all of us today. Your commitment is being tested. And a big word I heard an astrologer bringing into reflection today is accountability. And I would like to start talking about accountability because it is something that is sometimes a little bit misunderstood. I think accountability, particularly when it comes to relationships, is just really showing up. It's just being present and being very clear about what we have, signed up to put into manifestation and supporting the relationship for what it is. So when it says your commitment is being tested, then this is really what we're speaking about. Accountability is not something that comes, from a place of decision. Now I am accountable. It needs to come from a very deep internal, authentic place, saying yes to something that is maybe sometimes not easy to say yes to, but the conviction and the real understanding that action and presence is needed is really in the play. The second card that's coming into the mix today on this beautiful full moon in Gemini is the card Confidence is your key to success. Now, last month I did an ABC pick a card reading, and energetically I realized afterwards it's actually not my territory to really offer pick a card readings on a feature that should be really honoring more the one constellation that's in the sky in the day. I will probably very soon opening a channel with the title Love and Intimacy Readings. This channel has been created a year ago already, and I have never contributed to it simply because I have been busy building and developing businesses here in Bali and writing, and I'm writing again at the moment, so I'm very busy finalizing a book proposal that will be submitted early next week. So we have 2 more cards coming in, but the one that came first is a win-win is in forecast. A win-win outcome is in forecast. Now, this is a very interesting one, and because it is full moon in Libra. And I think we're going through a time where a lot of discussions are happening about what's right and what's wrong and the laws and you know. And I want to maybe use that opportunity to comment on what just happened very, very recently, yesterday or the day before here in Indonesia. The government, passed a bill about sex before or sex outside the marriage being criminalized. So I think that is a big, big thing to comment on, and I'm not wanting to put myself in one or the other position. I want to actually really comment from a very balanced situation I observe. I think this law is bringing a huge wave of new discussions into the realm, and very necessary discussions. When you understand Bali and Indonesia as greater cultures, when you understand their religious and traditional values, and when you understand the population of people that are very, very dependent from family support and communal support, simply because their very own lifestyle is threatened through, making decisions sometimes that are not supporting, the greater good of their own lives. And then they have unwanted pregnancies and stay too long in family relationship codependencies that doesn't allow them to go out and work and find, a destiny that really would suit their internal and probably also their external needs and wants. So a lot of people in Bali and Indonesia treat sex as a commodity, and it has an incredible harsh effect on those who sit on the side not being able to act, to protect their own needs. So, and I'm speaking particularly about women who, are made pregnant, and that includes Western men coming to Bali and to Indonesia and having affairs and relationships with much younger women. And only a proportion of them feels ready and very committed to be, in a marital relationship with them. And here again, the word commitment is coming back in. So I think these three cards are very, very beautifully representing what I try to convey. And the win-win outcome will be, and I think for all of Indonesians people, will be that it will bring a huge discussion into motion that will need to dissolve and newly create values and beliefs and supportive laws that help every member of the society, and particularly women and children, to be more protected and happier. So I'm really passionate about the subject. I had a couple of years ago the idea of creating a support house, a support home, a center for women who are unhappy and, not valued in their marriages, to come and be, educated about relationships. And we are talking about gender intelligence. We are talking about intimate intelligence. So just please go on my channel here on YouTube and go 1 or 2 videos back, and you will be able to listen to my very passionately recorded webinar reflecting on intimate intelligence. I think intimacy and intimate relationships demand intelligence, and we cannot just say this is allowed and this is not allowed, and I want this and I don't want this, and if I can't have it, then the world is the wrong place. I think we're having the 4th card coming up here, and that's really the answer to it all. Balance spiritually and practically, and it is a full moon in Pisces. Yeah, and we just passed beautiful Thanksgiving in the United States. It's only 10 days ago or so, and I want to really comment on the power of this Thanksgiving this year. I think there is a real need to be incredibly thankful and incredibly discerning about a lot of things that happen to us in our societies, in our personal lives at the moment. And the gifts that are coming our way maybe are not very easy to see, but I want to encourage every one of you to be really happy and conscious and thoughtful, and, as I said in another video, I produced in the last 4 weeks. Be humble. Be humble and see humility as one of your greatest strengths, to understand that it's not always about wanting something, and if we don't have it, then we have a reason to be unhappy. I think the humbleness is also that we understand that we can have a huge impact while we are not as intensively loud, voicing our opinions, or making sure that we are competitive against others, or making our needs more predominant than those of our people surrounding us that are directly affected from how we think, feel, and act. So I think that is a big message for all of us, and we are coming closer to Christmas, and I want to put one more card of the Monology deck from Jasmine Boland into the mix. And it says something very beautiful related to Christmas and the time of Advent and pre-Christmas spirit. It's saying, have faith in your dreams. And I love that, because we can learn so much through our dreams and through dreaming. And I think if you're interested in that, I listened to a very, very beautiful interview on Colette Baron-Reid's channel around 3 weeks ago. So she interviewed a man who was actually studying dreams and is very, very deep and thoughtful with the idea how we can learn from our dreams and utilize them as messages for greater purpose. And I think that fits so well into the whole energetics we are going through. And I want to create closure, and it's a shorter recording today, but I think that's all we need to do, to honor the full moon. And I want to, draw one more card from Alana Fairchild's Guanying Oracle deck, and it's an amazing deck. I love it very much. The paintings, the illustrations are so delicate and so beautiful. And I think if that Venus-y feminine energy may speak to us now in pre-Christmas time on a day full moon is in Gemini, then that's fantastic. And I have here the shining lotus. And I would like to not read out the meaning of it, but maybe just for each one of us, have a look at this beautiful picture and see what it means to us. I see her being very dreamy, very dancey, very happy, very confident in her body. And certainly, it's the number 26. And 2 and 6 is 8, which leads to prosperity. And that's really my wish to you. Have a very prosperous, very abundant, and very beautiful, harmonious, balanced shift into 2023. Have a beautiful, heart-centered and very loving time with your family members over Christmas. And I think we all have a good reason to celebrate more, but be discerning in how the celebrations really are channeled into the lives of others, and how we include others to take part in these celebrations. And I think a lot of celebration can be done very internally in our meditations, in our very faithful and truthful processes in healing ourselves and our minds and hearts. And that's certainly my message I want to give from Bali today. Let the shining lotus be your heart-centered, powerful, feminine, support energy that gives you a sense of beauty and ease and love and creativity. Thank you so much, and have an amazing Christmas. Happy New Year, and I see you for the full moon in 2023 January. Thank you so much. Namaste.